On the edge of the Regent's Park estate in Camden is a crumbling, abandoned building, half torn down, but with a revolutionary past. Soon this building will be demolished to make way for extension to the nearby Euston railway station and the arrival of High Speed 2. But before it's gone forever, I want to find out more about this fascinating, yet now condemned, part of London's history. Built in the late 19th century, the National Temperance Hospital was the first of its kind to ban the widespread use of alcohol as a medical treatment. Behind this radical new approach to medicine were the men and women of the Temperance movement, a group of teetotalers who had long warned society of the dangers of beer and spirits. Dr. James Neal is a historical geographer from University College with a particular focus on the controversial Victorian-era movement. So, I mean, how important was this building in that movement?
I think it was very important. It was designed as an experiment to prove that you could treat people without giving them alcohol, and it worked. And I think that it was meant to be a kind of symbol of that attempt and to shift people's thinking about it. Most of the hospitals in London and elsewhere in the country were using alcohol as a treatment for fever victims, or they were giving medicine in alcohol. So actually it was something that was probably a larger budget expenditure item than bread and milk.
This is alcohol mixed with medicines. It's basically alcohol being given as a medicine.
That's entirely right, yes. The public tended to be rather suspicious of medicine in the middle of the 19th century, so I think the public on the whole were very suspicious of the idea that you could live your life without alcohol and be treated in hospital.
Yet despite the doubts, spend on alcohol at other hospitals across the capital gradually declined over the following decades. The ethos behind the National Temperance Hospital had become mainstream, and healthcare in Britain would never be the same again. In 1948, the hospital joined the NHS and operated as normal until its closure in 1982. The space was later used to treat torture victims from around the world, but it then slowly fell into disrepair. For some members of the local community, the demolition of the historic building is a sad end to an era. Patsy Downey moved to London from Ireland in the 1960s to work as a nurse on the wards of the hospital. For Patsy, her memories of the hospital will always stay with her. So you worked in a hospital from '61. So what does a hospital mean to you personally?
The hospital meant everything to me from 19 years of age till last year. When I saw it was knocked down, I cried. I actually cried. It was part of our lives, and it's gone. 56 years gone. To save 20 minutes on a train journey, it's heartbreaking.
I have a great deal of sympathy with Patsy. I hate to see old buildings being demolished, particularly ones I've got a personal connection with.